I watched.
É sexta-feira. Olá.
Digo que a casa é uma casa que deve ser, mas pronto, vamos fazer o quê? Ele é bom, daqui a todos os também, ele é bom, não é bom?
Alberto Gusti pa.
Nice drinking. Okay, Daddy?
You want? Yeah, sure.
So the ones are not tasty. Because shrimp, lobster, when you need to replace. Do you like what for seafood? We have calamari tomato sauce.
More diversity of portion food, but keeping the same amount of food for everything. Two dishes are required. First, the idea is to be different ones. Let's do. Let's get it right away. I'll believe it. Let's start the mix of the whole thing. So a little off first, while appetizer also do.
Yeah, that's so nice. Okay, vegetarian.
We have to put ready.
No, I think we're using all. Yo voy a hacer el
You know.
Surprisingly, I haven't actually seen it through. I haven't seen
Assim, ó.
say. Also, the Euros is the bit.
Hadden we van vandaag op het programma staan.
Ja?
De Castee de Nata, want die hebben dus meerdere zaken. Maar we hebben dus gisteren wel de goede gevonden.
Anche della sua censura.